Victoria North is a long-term regeneration programme in North Manchester, running alongside the River Irk and north of Manchester Victoria Station. With a total investment value of around £4 billion over its lifetime, it covers a very large area, including 155 hectares or roughly 380 acres, made up of mostly underused brownfield land stretching out from the edge of the city centre. This project exists because this part of Manchester has faced a combination of challenges for decades. Large areas of former industrial land weren't being used efficiently. Flood risk alongside the River Irk limited development, and several neighbourhoods sat physically close to the city centre but poorly connected to it. The programme is a joint venture between Manchester City Council and Far East Consortium, set up to deliver change at scale rather than through isolated developments. By 2026, this no longer was just an idea. Construction is happening, homes are already being occupied, and major infrastructure work is underway. Victoria North isn't just one site, and it isn't just one development. It's made up of 7 neighbourhood areas, including places like Red Bank, Victoria Riverside and Collyhurst, each moving forward at different speeds under a single master plan. Across the full area, the plan allows for up to 15,000 new homes, which over time could house more than 40,000 people. Alongside housing, the programme includes schools, community facilities, healthcare space, local shops and workspaces, and a large amount of new public spaces. Each neighbourhood is delivered in phases, so developers don't have to wait for the entire area to be ready before building starts. That's why you can already see completed buildings and people living in some areas while other parts are still being prepared. This phase structure is what allows a project to this size to keep moving over a long period of time. The £4 billion figure reflects long-term investment rather than one fixed pot of public funding. It represents the total value of investment expected over the full life of Victoria North, spread across multiple phases and decades. Public funding is mainly used to unlock the area. That includes flood protection works, land remediation, roads, utilities, public spaces and early housing delivery. Private investment then funds the majority of the buildings as individual plots are brought forward for development. This means money comes in gradually, not all at once, and rises as more land becomes viable to build on. That's why Victoria North is described as a long-term regeneration programme rather than a single fixed budget project. Housing is the main driver of Victoria North. The scheme includes higher density apartment buildings closer to the city centre, with lower density housing further out. Some homes are affordable, some are market rate, and the aim is to increase overall supply rather than rely on one type of housing. By 2026, hundreds of homes have already been completed, with around 430 finished and a further 550 under construction, and thousands more holding planning permission. The first new council homes in Collyhurst village has already been completed, including around 274 homes, with approximately 130 for social rent. More phases continue to move through planning, which is normal for a programme of this scale. Delivery is staged so infrastructure and services keep pace with people moving in. One of the biggest barriers to development here has always been flood risk from the River Irk. To deal with that, Victoria North includes the creation of City River Park, a large new green corridor running through the development area. It plays a direct role in flood management. The river corridor is being reshaped to manage water more safely, reduce flood risk downstream, and unlock land that couldn't previously be developed. Public space and flood protection are intentionally combined in this project. Without this work alongside the river, a significant amount of the housing simply would not be possible. For Victoria North to function properly, people need to move easily between these neighbourhoods and the city centre. That's why improvements to roads, walking routes, cycling links and public spaces are being delivered alongside housing. The wider plan also includes upgrades to transport connections and better links into surrounding parts of Manchester. There's a proposed Sand Hills Metro Link stop, which would significantly improve the tram access into the area. That stop isn't essential for the earliest phases, but it becomes increasingly important as density increases over time. Transport improvements are therefore being phased in rather than delivered all at once. By 2026, Victoria North is a live construction programme. Homes are being built in areas like Victoria Riverside, Red Bank and Collyhurst. Public spaces are being delivered alongside housing rather than being left until the end. And other parts of the site are still in preparation, with demolition, remediation and infrastructure works ongoing. This mix of construction and groundwork is exactly what you'd expect from a project being delivered in stages over many years. Victoria North is often described as being closer to a new town than a standard regeneration scheme. That's because of its size, its housing numbers and the scale of infrastructure involved. It's being managed with long-term oversight in mind rather than just working towards short-term targets. The master plan is designed to adapt as market conditions, policy and demand change over time. It's set up to work over a long period, not as a one-off. On the positive side, Victoria North tackles housing supply, flood risk and brownfield land reuse at a scale smaller schemes can't match. The phased approach reduces pressure on public finances and allows development to continue even when market conditions shift. On the other hand, long-term timelines always introduce uncertainty. Transport delivery, funding availability and housing demand will all influence how quickly later neighbourhoods come forward. The project's success depends on steady delivery over time rather than quick wins. So where this leaves us in 2026 is fairly clear. Victoria North does not have a single completion date. It's a long-term regeneration programme expected to involve over 15 to 20 or more years. Some neighbourhoods will be completed much earlier. For example, Victoria Riverside and Red Bank has major phases completing around 2026, depending on individual buildings. Other areas will continue to be developed through the 2030s and beyond. As land is unlocked, infrastructure is delivered and demand evolves. The £4 billion figure reflects development over decades rather than something that gets spent and finished. That also means the final outcome isn't fixed. Height, density and housing mix in later phases will also respond to how earlier neighbourhoods actually function once people are living there. What matters most is that direction is now being set. The land is being unlocked and homes are being built, and the river corridor is being shaped in ways that weren't possible before. Victoria North isn't a regeneration scheme that peaks quickly and ends. It's one that gradually changes how the past of Manchester works, and it'll be judged on how well it holds together as a place over the next 10 to 15 and 20 years. If you enjoyed this video and you want more videos just like this, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to my channel and comment your thoughts on this project in the comments below. And if you want to find out more about regeneration projects happening in the UK right now, check out my channel or start with these two videos here.